Hey guys, so it's the first day in June and I thought I'd try vlogging for the month of June since it's Read Caribbean month, and I'm also doing Carabathon in June, so I thought I'd try it out. I'm waiting on some books to come in to upload my TBR for the month of June and Carabathon. I do have one of my Caribbean books already, so I'm gonna show y'all. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be reading A Walk Through Kemp Road by Philippa Taylor. Yeah, Philippa Taylor. I actually think I know, well, I don't know the author, but her daughter used to be my Girl Guides teacher. Girl Guide is like Girl Scouts. So, if you hear talking going on in the background, I have lots of family. I'm from a big family. But this will probably be the first book I start reading in the month of June, just because the other books haven't come in yet. They should be coming in sometime this week. And I just created a bookstagram, it's in all my links and stuff, and I'll also leave it in the text, probably in this blank space right here. Anyway, bye. Okay, so I'm about to open up some of the books I got for the month of June for the Read Caribbean and the Carabathon, and they're finally just getting in, and it's June 3rd already. 3rd, right? Yeah, 3rd, which I already did have some Caribbean books in my house, so it wasn't that bad, but I didn't have a lot. I have a lot of Bahamian books, but I left them at school. And I tried to get each book from a different island, or from an author from a different island. And the author books are here yet. Yes, but most of them are. We have A Small Place by Jamaican Knowles. We have Alvarez by Derek Walcott. And then I also have Breath, Eyes, Memory by Edwidge Danticat. Danticat? I hope I pronounced that right. Learning to Breathe by Janice, Lynn, Mathur, which I'm extremely excited about because this is by a Bahamian author. And then we have another box. It's from Amazon, which I know, yes, I buy local, but it's kind of hard to like ship stuff in here because it has to come through a mail forwarder, which is why this blue stuff's on it. And they will charge you like at least $10 for every package you bring in, plus the weight, plus all this extra stuff. So usually things end up being a lot more expensive than just paying for the shipping from a company. The reason why I look so sporty right now is because I just finished working out, and then I went to go get these books with my mom. Okay, we also have Sugar Money by Jane Harris. In the Time of the Butterflies by Julia Alvarez. And The Star Side of Bird Hill by Naomi Jackson. And I am so excited to read all of these books. I'm kind of a little sad though because I don't have my stamp with me to stamp all of my books right now. I left it at school, so I'm planning on bringing these books back with me to school. If you don't know what book stamp I'm talking about, I'll show you. I stamp all my books with this type of stamp. I got this stamp probably in 2015, 2016, and I just like to stamp all the books I bought or owned with it. Even if I do get rid of them, it's like a little piece of me goes with them, and yeah, I just like it. So what was that? Anyway, so I just finished A Walk Through Kemp Road by Philippa Taylor, and it wasn't what I expected it to be, but it was a nice book of local Bahamian history. What's the day? Today is June 6th. Not gonna lie, I was dragging my feet trying to finish this book. I don't know, it just wasn't really doing it for me. Probably the next book, well, not probably, I am picking up this one next, Learning How to Breathe by Janice Lynn Mathur. I always want to add a S onto her last name, and I have no idea why I always say Mathers instead of Mathur, but this is definitely the next one I'm going to pick up. It's my most anticipated read for the month of June, and I was going to save it for the end, but then I was like, you know, might as well just read it now and save myself, you know, the agony of trying to get through all the rest of the books and to get to this one. So hopefully it'll be good. That's what I'm reading next. Ignore the shooting in the background, but I finally got Queenie! Woo! Finally came in. My mom just picked it up, so yes. I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, I didn't even know this was by a Caribbean author. The reason why I had like originally put it on my to buy list was because of this just gorgeous cover, and then when I found out it was from a Caribbean author, I was like, might as well buy it now for the month of June to read for my, either just for the month of June, which is my, you know, Read Caribbean month, or the Carabathon that I'm doing, which starts on the 10th, and it is, I think, the 8th or 9th right now. But well, my plan in the future is to read at least one Caribbean book every month, hopefully more than one, but like all of the Caribbean books that I really currently own are at school, packed away because of COVID. So yes. So I finished Learning How to Breathe by Janice Lynn Mathur last night, and oh my gosh, I loved that book. It's the first, I think, like Bahamian contemporary book that I've ever read, but it was a hard read, but it was really good. And now the next book that I was debating between Queenie and The Star Side of Bird Hill, but I went with Queenie because, I mean, this cover is just friggin' gorgeous, and I'm really interested in the plot, so we'll see how that goes. And I know every time y'all see me, I'm in friggin' workout clothes, but I don't work out all day, okay? It just so happens that whenever I vlog, I just finished working out, or I'm going to work out. But I just finished working out, and now me and my mom are going to get some juice from this healthy juice place. I'm reading Queenie right now, and in the middle of reading, I just had to stop to say I really love a lot of the elements in this book so far, but the more I read it, the more I don't like Queenie. Oh my god,
where did mom go, guys?
And I don't know how I feel about this at the moment. Like, this is really distracting me. I love the storyline. I love the different elements they have in there. But to not like the main character but like everything else, I think this is almost close to a first for me. Okay, so I just finished Queenie, and I don't know how to feel about it. I think I might want to do a review video on it, so I don't want to talk about it too much. The ending was really cute for me, and I really loved it, but like for the majority of the book, I didn't like Queenie. And she kind of reminded me of like Asian dramas I've been watching where the character just makes bad choice after bad choice, and like they don't want to take responsibility for the things that they're doing, and they like only care about themselves and all that stuff. But it was just, I don't know, I didn't really like her in the beginning, in the middle, towards the end I started to like her a little bit more, but even then, like, it wasn't like, this is my baby, I'd die for her. But I did like a lot of the side characters, and so yeah, I think I might do a review video on it. I don't know, because all the other aspects of the book I really loved, and like I was dying because some of the things Queenie's grandparents did really reminded me of my dad. Like, in the stuff he'd do to us, or like my grandparents, or different things like that. But yeah, and the next book I am picking up in this readathon for Carabathon is A Small Place by Jamaica, Kincaid. So yes, that's my next read. I was going to read The Star Side of Bird Hill, but I don't know, I just think A Small Place, it's a short book, less than 100 pages, and I'm kind of interested in what Kincaid is talking about. So we'll see what happens. It is just turned June 12th. So yeah, we're on the second day of Carabathon. I mean, third day of Carabathon because it's June 13th. Don't mind the fact that my hair looks kind of like a mess right now, but I am about to start A Small Place by Jamaica Kincaid, and I'm interested to see how this is going to go. It's rather short, which I'm glad for, and yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm on page 14 of A Small Place, and wow, like, Antiqua's being dragged for filth. Like, honestly, the way she was describing, the way Kincaid was describing coming off the plane and like going through customs and taxi drivers and all that stuff, like you could literally replace that with the word Bahamas and it would be the same thing. And how she was describing like the drive through the town or the city and whatever, like the Caribbean experience is so similar. It's very crazy. Like, honestly, I felt like the Bahamas was being dragged for filth in that. I just finished A Small Place. It is June. No, I was almost gonna say July. It's the 13th right now. Still same day. And wow, I am a fan. I'm a fan of Jamaica Kincaid. A Small Place was so good. Like, what a read. I don't know if I want to say anything more. I don't know, like, in a lot of ways it reminded me of the Bahamas, and in other ways it was unique in its own thing, obviously because it's Antigua and Barbuda is its own country, but it was crazy how similar like some of the things are. Like, literally you could have swapped out Antigua for the Bahamas and there would have been no difference. And it's just like, so it's just like, my mind is blown right now. Like, this is 5 stars for me. It is June. Technically it's June 18th, but it's still June 17th in my mind. So technically it's Thursday, but it's still Wednesday. I started The Star Side of Bird Hill on Sunday, and then I didn't read anything on freaking Monday. Yesterday I read some stuff, and I was gonna pick this up today, and I haven't, so really don't look at me, just look at the book. But the reason why I am vlogging is because I bought some more books. So every time I go to this particular bookstore at home, Logos bookstore, I only buy Caribbean, but more specifically Bahamian authors from that bookstore, because I'm trying to build up my Bahamian author / books collection, and it's much easier to buy from there because sometimes they have books that I cannot find anywhere else. So I bought 3 books. Well, I didn't buy it. I got my mom to buy 3 books for me. And the first one is Bahamian Society After Emancipation, and that is by Gail Saunders. I friggin' love her. I have a lot of her books not with me at the moment. I only have one other one with me at the moment, but they are at school, and when I get back to school I will show them to you guys. Next we have Back Home by Susan J. Wallace, which I actually talked about this book in a previous video where I talk about Bahamian authors and their books, so if you want to check that out, I'll have it in the links and in the cards. It was funny because I was in the store and I was like browsing, and I was staring at this book for the longest, and I was like, this book looks so familiar. And then I realized it was because I had talked about this book before. And I had, I had seen the cover and whatnot. I was like, aw. And next we're going to be talking about Bahamian Anthology. And it just says College of the Bahamas. But I've actually never seen this book until I just saw it in the bookstore. And I had to pick it up because it just seems very interesting. It's a bunch of plays, short stories, poetry, and whatnot. But it has in the contents, it has the like which thing it is, and then it has the authors listed next to it. And I know some of these authors, like Susan J. Wallace actually has some of her stuff in this book, but some of the authors I do not know. But this was compiled in, well, it was created in 1983, so it's a little bit older, and I feel like most of the people who wrote the things in here probably would not have written recently, so I might not really know about them like that, because, you know, I don't understand why, like, Bahamian literature in my, as well, in the circles I'm in and the things I hear, really isn't talked about and or celebrated like that. There are very few books which I know of, like, on a regular basis that is used for like teaching in schools, like for literature and things. Like, I can name a few. I know one of them would be a play, I think Women Take Two by Towson Turner, is used in it's used in schools. I'm not sure if it's used for national exams or if it's just used for some different like classes or whatever. But other than that, you know, I don't really hear much about like different short stories, and like specifically it's not like really celebrated like that, I feel like. And then also different authors that are publishing now, even though that they might live in foreign or whatever, like you don't really hear about them that much. Like Janice Lynn Mathur, she's about her book's about to come out later this month. No, later, August 11th. I pre-ordered the book, so by the time I get back to school, it should be there. But like, nobody talks about her. Like, I wouldn't have even known if I hadn't searched for her. Anyway, yeah. I was going to watch a K-pop show with my sister right now, but I don't know what she's doing, so I think I'm gonna actually pick up The Star Side of Bird Hill, because my goal was to finish it tonight, and then things happened, and I feel really bad. But not, yeah, I feel really bad. Anyway. Hey guys, it is June 18th, and I finished The Star Side of Bird Hill. It was so good. Just one word. I mean, like, the family. Anyway, I think I'm gonna do a book review on it, so I don't really want to talk about it that much. And I decided I'm gonna do a book review on Queenie too, so I'll probably post those like right after I post this vlog, or before I post this vlog. But it was like, I realized that even though each Caribbean island is different, like there is shared like cultural and experiences that, because like reading about the characters, it kind of reminded me of some of my own family, and or like stories I've heard about like my Grammy or like my great Grammy and stuff like that. And just, it was good. Now I'm reading Omeros. What I put it by my bedside. I haven't started reading it yet, but this is my next read, and I think I'm excited. It's probably the thickest book. No, well, Sugar Money I think is the thickest book I have on tap for this month. I don't know if I'll actually be able to read all my TBR for this month. I might include some of the books that I just got from my book haul, so yeah. Anyway. Hey guys. My hair looks like a mess right now, but don't mind that. It is the day after Carabathon has ended. It is the 21st, and I only read, I think I finished Queenie in that time. I read A Small Place by Jamaica Kincaid. I read and started and finished The Star Side of Bird Hill. And I was in the middle of Omeros. I'm still in the middle of Omeros right now. And that was probably not the best book to do for a readathon. But I kind of almost want to put it down. But I know if I do that, the likelihood of me picking it back up is like extremely low. Like for the next few months or whatever. So I don't want to put it down because I really want to read it. It's just so thick. And it's like, I really have to sit down and focus on like what I'm reading, and it's a lot. This is probably not the best read for me to be picking up at this time, but yeah. My hair is getting so long. You can see all the new growth. And I really want to cut it, but I also kind of waiting until I go back to school, like right before I go back to school now, because it doesn't really make any sense to do it now, because the time right now I'm like before I go back. It's kind of too short to try and do my hair, but I don't like how long it's getting. I mean, it looks nice when I actually like do it, like I'm about to do it right now, but I like it when it's short because like at one point it was so short I could just like run my hands through it and like just put product in it and then that would be it. And now I have to like actually, you know, maybe get a comb or a brush and do that, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. For those who've like seen my older videos, like I had long hair. I've had long hair for the majority of my life. At one point I did cut my hair short again. You can hear my brother in the background. At one point I did have my hair short, but that was like right before I started my YouTube channel in the beginning, because if you look back you'll see my hair is rather short, not as short as like this, but it's still pretty short. And then like it continued to grow, and I did have long hair at the beginning of this year, and then I cut it right before we turned 2020, so don't mind don't mind me. So today it is the 22nd. I did not finish Omeros for, I think you already know this, for Carabathon, and I did think about DNFing it, but I decided not to do that and to just push through. Not that I don't like it, it's just, as I said before, really thick, really hard to get through. But I sat down and I read 70 pages of it tonight, and so I'm more than halfway through now. I only have like 100 pages left to go, so I'll probably finish that tomorrow because I have to go to, it's like not super late, it's only 11 or something, but I have to get up early for me tomorrow to go work out, and I need my sleep. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm quite proud of myself actually for finishing those 70 pages, because even up to till today, even up till right now, I'm like, do I still want to read this? But I know if I put it down, the likelihood of me picking it up again I know if I put it down, the likelihood of me picking it up again anytime within the next few years would be very low. So I want to pick it up now, but I feel like this is a book that gets better over time, or as you continue to as you continue to pick it up again and read it. So like not in this year, maybe not even in next year, but in sometime in the future I would pick it up again to read it, to like see how good it is to me then. Okay, I'm about to study for a little bit, and then I am going to force myself to sit and read all the rest of Omeros, which is about 120 pages left. How many pages is it? I think it's like 330. In between 120 and 150 pages. That's doable for me. I can do that in probably about an hour or two. So I'm gonna make myself do that so I can move on to the next book now, because I do want to get some other books and I do want to finish this book, so we'll see how that goes. Not gonna lie, I'm really tired because I woke up early and it's been a long day for me, but I was only 30 pages into Breath, Eyes, Memory at the start of the day, and I finished it all today, and my god, this is such a good book. Like, the writing, the way Danticat weaves together a story and makes you feel, it was so good. Like, talking about it right now is low-key bringing tears to my eyes. Like, it was so good. Hey guys, so last night I finished Eyes, Breath, Memory by Edwidge Danticat, and it was amazing. Like, I need to go buy all the rest of her books and read them like ASAP. I'm about to start In the Time of the Butterflies. I haven't started yet, by Julia Alvarez, but today's just been really hectic because I found out that I had something. Can't remember what the first word is. Rosa. So I had to get some cream and some things, like some skin condition that goes away after a while, but it causes like all these red bumps on your skin, and it made me so tired. Like, I'm actually really tired right now, and that's why my hair looks so mashed up. So basically I've just been sleeping all day because I had to get like something to help dry it up that also made me sleepy. So I've literally just been sleeping all day. And then also I've been waking up early to go work out. Insert workout clip here. And so it's been a lot. I've been waking up probably earlier than I would ever wake up, usually like 6:30 and 7 to go work out for like the past 2 weeks, and it's just taking a toll on my sleep. I really need to start going to sleep earlier, probably by like 10 or 11. I usually end up going to sleep like 1 or 12, which is not really that great for me, and then I always sleep in on the weekends till like 11. And I'm also I'm awake now anyway, so I'm gonna spend probably the rest of today planning out videos that I'm gonna do for the next 2 or 3 weeks, because Bahamian Independence Day is on the 10th of July, and I want to do like lots of videos centering around Bahamian / islandish themes to just spread awareness about the Bahamas and or about the Caribbean in general, but definitely about the Bahamas because it's our Independence Day. So yes. Hey guys, I'm just, even though I've been doing vlog style for this video, I thought I would just do a quick little wrap up of all the books I read in June. It is July 1st. I was going to, well, it didn't really make any sense because I still wasn't going to post it, but I was going to film this little wrap-up thing yesterday while I was at the beach, but then plenty of people was at the beach and I didn't want to talk about all those people, so I just left it and just took my bookstagram pictures and then went about my business in the ocean. But now I'm going to be talking just a little bit about all the books I've read and just giving their rating. I didn't talk about it, but over the weekend I did read and finish In the Time of the Butterflies by Julia Alvarez, and I will talk about that in this part of the video. So I'm not going to be going in the order that I read the books in. I'm just, because I have them in a bag right now right next to me, so I'm just going to be pulling them out and talking about them. So the first book I'm going to talk about is The Star Side of Bird Hill by Naomi Jackson. I rated this book 4 stars and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the setting, the characters, the plot. I thought it was a good book. It made me really reflect on the fact that even though you have you can experience people in your life, and especially like in your family, but you don't really know all aspects of them. Like, my parents when they were younger are not the same people that I'm experiencing now, and my parents when I was younger, like the way that they might have raised me or some of the things that they did, like my siblings don't experience the same type of like raising that I experienced, and like they don't experience the type of parents that I experienced. But I really did enjoy this book. I love learning about more about Barbados and about like Bayesian myths and like legends and stuff like that. It was nice. The next book was Eyes Breath Memory. As I said before, I loved it, rated it 5 stars. It was slow, but it was beautiful. The writing, so poignant, so rich, and I did love it, and I really do want to pick up some more Edwidge Danticat soon. Probably when I go back to school, I'll buy some more of her books. The next book I'm going to talk about is A Walk Through Camperota Community by Philippa Taylor. I rated this book 3 stars. As I said before, it was just an overview of a community in the Bahamas. Not exactly what I thought it was going to be, but I did still enjoy it. But this probably wouldn't be great reading for anybody who's not interested in learning more about that specific community in the Bahamas, because it was pretty dry. The next book I'm going to talk about is Queenie by Candice Cardi Williams. I have a rating on Queenie. I rated it 3 stars. Honestly, I'm not sure. I might drop the rating to 2.5 or 2 stars. Depends on how I feel. Sometimes, like when I scroll through my Goodreads, I look at a book and I'm like, I don't really feel that way anymore. So then I change the rating like up or down. Usually down, because if I rate it high, there's really no reason for me to like rate it lower. But I mean, if I rate it low, there's really no reason for me to rate it higher. But yeah, so if you want to know more about like my in-depth thoughts, check out my review, which will be in the cards. The next book I want to talk about is A Small Place by Jamaica Kincaid. I freaking love this. This is a small essay talking about how kind of like tourism is the new colonialism. I guess it's neo-colonialism, but I enjoyed it. I saw my own island reflected in some of the ways, some of the things she talked about, and like her thoughts. I really did love this book. I did rate it 5 stars, and I am totally a huge fan of Jamaica Kincaid now, and I do want to get some of her books when I go back to school as well. The next book I'm going to talk about is Omeras by Derek Walcott. I rated this 1 star, unfortunately. I really wanted to love it, but the like point of view, because it was so like ambiguous and flowing, made it really hard for me to follow. I didn't really like the way his poetry was set up. I kind of like some of the plot points, but because of the ambiguous style of the writing, it was just really hard for me to get into. And I do love poetry, but I just wasn't really a fan of this. I'm not sure if it was just because like it was just a lot, but I do feel like the more you read this, like the more you might enjoy it. But so I might pick this up in the future, but definitely not right now. The next book I'm going to talk about is Learning to Breathe by Janice, Lynn, Mathur. I rated this book 4 stars. I did truly enjoy this book. This is a contemporary novel about a Bahamian girl and just her struggle with different things like moving from one island to another, sexual abuse, different things like that. I pre-ordered Mathur's other book, so by the time I go back to school, I'll definitely have it in my hands, and I can't wait to read that. But I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend this for anybody who wants to know a little bit more about Bahamian life, and just wants to know I had like a nice island feel. So yeah. The final book I'm going to be talking about is In the Time of the Butterflies by Julia Alvarez. I rated this book 3 stars. I wanted to like it more than I did. Like I wanted to rate this like 4 or 5, but in the beginning it just didn't it took me quite a number of pages to get attached to the characters, because there's multiple points of view in this book, and I did like the writing and I liked the setting. I love historical fiction, so I liked learning more about like that time, but I just didn't really gel well with any of the characters whose points of view we were really seeing. And even though they were Alvarez was trying to give them each a distinct voice, I still felt sometimes like it was just one voice across the board, and sometimes I was like, wait, who's talking again? And then I had to go back and think. So yeah, a sad thing happened, because I had taken this book to go with me when my family went fishing. I mean, we were on land, but I put it in the car because we drove 2 cars to where we were going fishing, and it wasn't in the car I was in, and somebody spilt water on it, and now the back is all crinkly, and this looks like this, like it looks like it has mold on it, but it really doesn't, and that kind of annoyed me a lot. But yes, that's all for now. I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.